Hi guys, got this Nissan Qashqai in for a service. As you can see, we've got the blueprint filter maintenance box package ready to go. Start off the service was clean, getting the pollen filter out, just tucked up in there. See the gap in there, look. Move the pipe out of the way and clip the actuator, just slides out in there. And as you can see, this is definitely due a change by the looks of it. Just get anyone in. So like I said, I've got a blueprint filter. Before I put that in, give it a quick spray with Cherry Bubble from Toolbox Cleaning. That way when the customer turns their blowers on, it's going to smell amazing in there. Now we've got that out, as you can see, Aphid Forest come out with it. So we've got the mat out. We obviously don't want to leave all that debris in there, so we're going to get the Hoover out and clean all that up. Alright, now that is finished, we're going to finish off doing our seatbelt checks and things like that on the inside, and then hop back outside and change some of the filters out there. Okay, so now we've hopped outside, and we're going to be changing the fuel filter. Yeah. So first thing we have to do is remove this bulb here. So there's this one here, and this one here, and then we're going to get onto these 13mm bolts here. We'll come back to that. Let's just get these two bits off first. Now I've just removed this bulb altogether, just sort of open up these clips and just take it out. Now it's time to get onto these 13mm nuts, so I can remove this bracket out of the way so we can gain access to that fuel filter. So the securing bolts for this filter is also for that bracket, so that filter is now loose. We just need to remove these hoses and get the filter out of there. Now with all those hoses disconnected, that just comes out. Now we've got everything cleaned off, new filter put back in place. We're just going to reassemble it all now quickly. Now with it all back together, I'm just going to prime it up and check for any leaks in it and see if it runs. Got the ignition on. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but there is some air still going through there that you can see. So I'm just going to keep priming that for a little bit, use the lift tank to prime it for itself before we start it, just to make sure all of that air is out. And there you go. Now that is it, running perfectly. Leave it run for a little bit, see if it cuts out, just to make sure everything's fine. That looks great to me. I left that run for a little bit just to get all the air out, and everything's running perfectly fine now. So now we're going to crack on with the air filter. The air filter, which lives in here, which is just a tab here and a tab here, and it pops out there. Lovely screwdriver there, look. Craftsman one. And now with that cap off here, you're greeted with this carriage here. You just slide it out, and there's your filter. And as always, it's filthy dirty. Drop the new blueprint one. I haven't jacked the vehicle up yet. Just had a quick look underneath. You can see that this engine is completely covered in oil. That's what that's all about. This could be fun. What I was actually doing under there was put my catch can underneath, so we can tackle this oil filter before we jack it up and get to the sump plug itself. I have to use a tool on this one because it's a little bit tight. That does just twist off. Should be able to do it by hand really, but it's just too tight today. I ain't had my Weetabix. Okay, so we're just going to clean up this filter housing as best as we can. Ready for the new blueprint one to go on. Bit of red rubber grease on the seal to stop it from splitting and help it to seal when you put it on. Then just screw it back on. Now we're just letting that oil drain out. Now we're just going to fill this back up with oil. I find that these are very, very slow feed. So you're just going to trickle it in, or else it'll end up overflowing. Maybe not this slow. There we are. You just slowly feed that in, just let it dribble until it's all gone. Now, I'm just going to check the oil. Make sure we got enough in there before we go in and run it and let it fill up the oil filter. So you want it to be a little bit overfull now. Which yes, it is. So let's run the engine and see if we've got any leaks and see if we've got enough oil in there. Okay, so oil levels are fine, there's no oil leaks. I've given the engine bay a quick clean up with Toolbox Cleaning. Now let's just go through some of the finishing touches. So we've cleaned up the engine bay. Let's go inside the cab. Now we're going to use a bit of cab cleaner and a clean cloth and just clean up everywhere our hands have been. Just to make sure it's nice and clean, ready for when the customer comes back in. Now I understand it looks like all I've done is just change the filters, but there is more to it, and this is it. Every service gets treated to a full vehicle health check, so we will what we have ran through, checking lights, checking brakes, checking wipers, checking suspension components, checking shocks, checking the washers, checking the horns, checking the coolant, checking everything on the vehicle, documenting it on here and giving it to the customer. If you want to know more about these sheets, let me know in the comment section and I'll try to answer any questions for you. Now all that's left to do is to reset the service light. So you're going to press this button until it comes to settings, twist it clockwise down to maintenance, press it down to maintenance, go to service, hold it down. You're holding that down on service, then press it down on reset, go down to confirm, press it again, and that should be reset. There we are, voila. Now one last thing I'm going to do to finish off the service, let's give it a quick blast, cherry bubble. So it smells superb. And the customer gets back into his vehicle later. There we are, jobs are good.